Welcome to another computer literacy broadcast. Today we're going to look at building a second web page to go with the first one. So important links, WordPress at BMCC. I started a site the other day on a different computer. I'm on my Mac today. And since then, I uploaded the privacy and the secure lock page. So I'm going to show how to build those two pages and get them in here. So to do that, since I'm on a different computer, I need to download those files. So on a Windows computer, you can right click. On a Mac, you can control click and download that folder. Now it's going to download it as what's called a zip file. A zip file is a bunch of files all bunched into one, like a folder, but you download it in one shot. On a Windows computer, you want to open it in the folder. So here I can see I have my zip folder, and then you'll have to right click or on a Mac control click, and you want to extract all files in Windows. So here I'm going to open it with my archive manager, which is going to unpack it for me, and then it'll display the folder. So if you can't see the folder without the zip, you've got a problem, and you need to get in touch with me if you can't figure out how to undo that. So in there, I should see all my files. So let's make believe that I do not have privacy, put that in the trash, and privacy JPEG, put that in the trash. So I'm going to start those two over again. Now here I'm using an editor called Bluefish on my Mac. And so I want to start a new file. And to work on that file, I'm going to go back to home page on our CS120 site. And in week 8 here, I want to build my second page. So to build my second page, I need to start off with the template. So I'm going to copy that, Command-C, stick it in my editor, and then I need the stuff to mark up. So a little less work on this one. And that needs to go in the body. So I'm going to put it under this paragraph. And then I should save it and make sure it ends up in the right folder and give it a good name, like privacy. And I recommend not using caps and not using spaces. And it's an HTML type file. Save it. All right, so then it colorizes it and it looks a little better. Remember the other day we added a lang for language attribute, and we set it to EN for English. That's always a good idea. Title here, according to the instructions, should be information privacy. All right, let's take another look at the instructions. All right, so let's see. Got information privacy as the title. We need to set the background color to one of these web colors. So let's pick a web color for the background. We could do just plain yellow or green, maroon, purple, blue. I'm in the mood for a yellow today. How about khaki? So I'm going to use the hexadecimal version of khaki. And again, if you're unsure how to do this, go view the style tutorial at W3 Schools. The style tutorials are nice because they have this try it yourself. And so you can mess around with stuff. Like instead of red, I could try pasting in the hexadecimal color. I need to get rid of the spaces and start it with a pound. Run it, and it'll put it in there. I want to make that bigger. I can make it an H1, which means I need to end with an H1, run it. Oops, I did the wrong one. Oh well. But this is a nice system because it shows the HTML on one side and you can run all your changes to see what it looks like. So it's a good place to play and explore, not worry about screwing up. The best way to make websites is by trying stuff and screwing up. Okay, so to the body here, we're going to add a style attribute. And that style is going to have a color. And the color is going to be that hexadecimal. And give me a sec while I fix my dishwasher. All right, don't you hate it when the way life gets in the way of web design? All right, so save it. Now to view it, Notepad++ has that quick view. Bluefish, my recollection, is ready to view in Firefox. And oh, it might let view Chrome. Let's give it a try. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, oops, I changed the text color. Classic mistake. So what I really wanted to change, if you double check the description here, is the background color. So background dash color. And I can't spell. All right, notice the color change, which means I'm doing something right. Save it, reload it, and that looks a little better. Okay, making progress. So next I need to clean up this mess down here. Information privacy needs to be a heading. So I'm going to cut it out of there and drop it into this heading position. And paragraphs, oops, keep forgetting on my Mac here. I need to start with a paragraph tag and end with a closing paragraph tag for each of these. And the order of the symbols definitely matters. And a little extra space. All right. And I think I'd like these indented too. So I'm going to highlight those and indent them in the body. That'll look a little better. All right, that looks nice. Okay, so making some progress. Let's see, the description says, I want that first line to be a heading 3. Put paragraph tags around each regular paragraph and then insert this image. So to insert this image, I need to download it. So I'm going to control or right click on it. I'm going to save it to the right folder. So it needs to be inside web tutorial. Privacy.jpg is a good name. Save, it's in there. And it needs to float left. Click there if you're not sure what that means. It needs to have a width of 120 and alternate text and a title text with that content. All right, let's do it. So this is supposed to be an H3. Close the H3. And the beginning of this paragraph, I'm going to throw it on a new line, although it doesn't matter. Could have put it right in there. I need an img image tag. And this particular editor says image needs a source. My source is the name of it. Privacy.jpg. It's going to be exactly the same name as what you downloaded. If you change a letter, if you capitalize something, it'll put a space in, it'll totally screw it up. Alternate text is for screen readers. So this is an image of the word privacy. Other things, it said I need a style, and the style is to make it float left. And I also need to set the width to 120 pixels, semicolon. All right, what else? It said I needed a title attribute. And the title attribute was supposed to say this stuff here. So it's a Creative Commons, and that means I need to indicate who it came from by, and SA, what is SA? I used to know that. Share alike. That means other people can use it too. Let's add that in here. Paste. Oops, I forgot to copy apparently. Back here. Copy and paste. There we go. All right, looking better. Let's save it and see how it looks. So right now, all of the work I'm doing is just what it looks like on this computer. I need to get it to the web and see how it looks there. Now notice it's kind of tight on the edge here. So objects on a page have borders, and those borders are sometimes they're called margins. And so margin should fix that. So that's a style attribute. So I'm going to add a margin to the right side, and I'm going to make it 5 pixels. And save it and reload it. That looks a little better. Okay. I should take this hyperlink and make it useful, because right now when I click it, nothing happens. So we need to add, like last time, an anchor tag, and it should have a closing anchor tag at the end. Now what appears in between anchor tags is what is called link text, and that's what the user sees. So at the moment, the link text and the URL are going to be the same thing. So we'll see what that looks like. So the anchor tag inside the first part of it, before the greater than sign, needs a hyperreference, and that reference is the URL. Save it, reload, see what happens. Oh, look, it's nice and highlighted in blue. That's a good sign. Click it, and it takes me to the page I want to go to. Go back to see your page. Now, often, who wants to see a URL? URLs aren't all that attractive. So you usually want to hide a URL behind some link text. So between the anchor tags, the opening and closing, I'm going to get rid of that URL. Right? The important thing is that the URL is in the href part of the first anchor tag. So in here, I'm going to make a note that this is, for more information, go to information, privacy at Wikipedia. And I think that'll look much nicer. And then this sentence needs a period, and the period should go after the closing anchor tag, but inside the paragraph. So it's kind of like math, order of operations, where you put stuff matters. Oh, that's way nicer. Look at that. Sweet. Okay, I think we got everything. Oh, no. We need to add a horizontal rule after the URL, and then put a new paragraph with the word home linking to the index page. And all of these links are there to help you. They have tutorials on what the hell I'm talking about. All right, so let's do that. So a horizontal rule needs to go after this paragraph. And an HR tag is kind of like an image tag. It doesn't have a closing tag. So it's one of those weird tags. New paragraph with a close. And in here, I want the word home. Now, home needs to be a link, which means I have to wrap it in anchor tags. So anchor tag A, anchor tag closing A, and then an anchor tag needs to have a hyperreference, href equals, and that's the page I'm trying to get to. What's my home page called? Technically, it's called index.html. All right, I think I'm looking good. Save it and test it. And oh yeah, look at that. Home takes me to my home page. Information privacy at the bottom takes me to my new information privacy page. I'm looking good. All right, back to building our second page. So after we do something we've been testing, and every less than needs a greater than, every tag, for the most part, needs a closing tag, and any starting quote, double quote, needs an ending double quote. You don't put those in the right spot, things are going to be messed up. How do you know if they're messed up? Two ways. If you mess up a tag, like this one here, then usually the colors on the page fall apart. All right, there we go. So notice the colors just got all screwed up. So that means I missed a closing thing somewhere. Finding it can often be a challenge. Other way you know things are messed up is if you think you did it right here, but when you save it and view the page, doesn't look right there. Maybe you forgot to save. Maybe you have part of a tag in the wrong spot. Maybe you forgot a less than or a greater than or a quote. And all those little things matter to make a web page. All right, looking good, save it. So I'm ready to republish it. Now to republish it, we need the WP file manager. And in the WP file manager, I have a place to put my stuff in that web tutorial folder. So all I'm going to do is shrink this down a little so I can repost my stuff. So to do that, I'm going to get my Finder or Windows Explorer up. And then any file I edited, I just want to drag in. And it's going to say, hey, you already have that file. Sure you want to replace it? I'm going to say, yes, I do, because this is a new and improved version. If the image was edited, then you should replace that also. If it's the same image, don't worry about it. Okay, so if that image wasn't there, I would need to drop it in and put it there. If it's not there, it won't ask you the question, should you replace it? Because it's not there. All right, so I have my home page, my new page, privacy image for the privacy page, secure lock for the index page. My site is complete. All right, let's see what it looks like on the web. So I checked to see what it looks like while I was editing it. That is the file that exists here. Just because it looks good on my computer doesn't mean it's going to look good on the web. So what we need to do, come on, is go back to our page here. And as far as publishing goes, for other people to view my page, like the teacher of the class, I need to give them the correct address. So the correct address is always going to start like this, and then whatever your first name, last name is. If you're not sure what your first name, last name is in WordPress, the way to look it up is in the WP File Manager. It'll tell you right here. So it says here I'm known as CS student. It is case sensitive. So to the end of this, I need to append CS student and enter. And it'll say, hey, you have a folder called web tutorial. Click it. Oh, there's my file. Hey, that looks good. There's my image. Here's my link. Hey, that looks good. There's my image. Here's one link. That works. Go back. And here's a link home. And that works too. Yeah, my site is complete. So then what I would do next is take, ooh, I shouldn't have closed that. Let's see, Command Shift T to bring back windows you closed. And let's go back. All right. So the web tutorial folder with this address is what I'm going to submit for this project. It was an outline of the procedure, and I'm ready to submit. And again, I threw some screenshots in here of what your page should look like. And it's colorized to help it be readable. So that's the page. Above is the HTML, and page. And here I'm going to paste in that Now, that's the cheesy way to do it. What you should really do is put in some text. Check out my awesome new sites. And then I'm going to highlight awesome new site and make that the link. It's always a good idea to hide the URL behind some text. So I'm going, oh, and another thing, it's always a good idea to look at the rubric if it's there. Did you do each of these things? All right, so read through that, double check. Those are all things from the instructions. If you're sure, submit it. If you think you made a mistake, resubmit it. It's always an option. And you can always go back and see what you submitted. Somewhere here it should show me my submission, right there, submission details. And then I can click that link and see if it actually does what I think it should. Yeah, looks like the same site. Cool. All right. Take care. Do good computing. Bye-bye.